By using pressurized liquid to effectively fracture the hard rock beneath the surface and create more space for oil to flow, fracking is a technique for extracting oil. The practice started in 1947 and has since gained some controversy. Rebecca Falcone has made it obvious that, despite the potential for more income, she is very opposed to this strategy. Although this is a strange viewpoint given that she has accepted to work for an oil firm, Taylor Sheridan probably included it in his show to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of what fracking can do. Since Oklahoma has the highest number of caused earthquakes in the United States, Rebecca suggests that fracking generates earthquakes there, by USGS. The source claims that 2% of the state's earthquakes are caused by fracking. In 2018, a magnitude 4 earthquake in Texas was the biggest one caused by hydraulic fracturing. Therefore, even though Rebecca's logic isn't totally correct, fracking still raises environmental issues including pollution and contaminated local water, via Environment America. Oil businesses can indeed go out of business, and there is a significant amount of risk if they do so due to a decline in oil prices or a pandemic-like occurrence, even if Tommy claimed that men die and oil firms live forever. Although Tommy's career is at stake, it's not truly his money that's being exchanged here. Although it hasn't been brought up in a number of episodes, Tommy still owes a lot of money from the last oil bust, and he would find it difficult to support his family if he lost his job, especially because he lives in a home owned by the firm. Even yet, Tommy is a resourceful man who would probably figure out a means to get back on his feet if MTEX failed. In terms of the show, the main issues are Cammy and her family's livelihood after Monty's passing and his legacy. All of their workers would lose their employment, although this would happen regardless due to issues with the oil sector. Taylor Sheridan's show mostly focuses on the elite players at MTEX, particularly now that Landman has shifted away from its patch crew characters. The future of MTEX, including a dangerous fracking plan, should be significantly impacted by the events of Landman's Season 1 finale. Taylor Sheridan and Christian Wallace devised the fictional private oil corporation MTEX for the Paramount Plus series, which is based on Wallace's Boomtown podcast. In light of this, the show's discussion of issues related to the oil sector has a lot of real-world roots, even though Landman's Season 1 finale may have taken some artistic license with themes like the cartel and other family turmoil. In Landman's cast, John Hamm portrayed oil magnate and MTEX CEO Monty Miller. Nevertheless, the character's health gradually deteriorated, ultimately resulting in his death in the series finale. Since Monty is no longer there, Tommy Norris and Cammy Miller are practically in command of MTEX. Although Tommy will be running the business on Cammy's behalf moving forward, Cammy was Monty's wife and ultimately had the last say in what happens to his fortune. As Season 2 approaches, this produces a fascinating, dramatic dynamic in which MTEX's destiny is completely uncertain. According to the first season finale of Landman, Monty Morris had intended to set up a $200 million farm-out lease agreement for MTEX. A farm-out deal basically means that MTEX will be permitted to drill for oil on behalf of a landowner, giving them the use of their equipment in exchange for a sizable portion of the profits. However, the risk associated with oil is that it is a volatile industry that is susceptible to huge busts, particularly when making such a big deal. Choosing what to do after Monty's death was a significant part of Cammy's participation in the conclusion. She recognized that Monty's life was about leaving a lasting legacy, and that he wanted to give back to the world by establishing his own foundation or donating a significant portion of his fortune to one. Cammy and her family could live well for generations with $200 million, but she thinks they probably wouldn't have enough to build a foundation that honors Monty's memory or his objectives. They're doing the farm out because that's what he wanted. To put it simply, Tommy is going to gamble with the $200 million in the hopes of making it into an incredible $1.4 billion, a sum that will leave a lasting impression on the world. Cammy is more concerned with what they can do with the money, that is, repurposing it for positive purposes, than with getting the money. The drawback is that Cammy and her family can become completely impoverished if they go bankrupt. She feels she must honor her husband's desires by placing this wager, despite Tommy's advice to the contrary. Instead of going all in, as he thought Monty would, Tommy offers that they might be able to sell the farm out lease to another company for a higher sum at some point, months or years from now. They might even triple the money if they pull ahead and cash their chips. Taylor Sheridan, however, uses Landman to highlight how difficult it is to give up on the chase of wealth, since a person who is successful will constantly aim to earn more until they lose everything. Tommy then informs Rebecca that Monty appointed her vice president of exploration and planned to use her criminal instinct as a lawyer as a weapon, therefore he needs her to negotiate a farm out lease. In an attempt to outshine the banks, Tommy announces that they want to recoup on strikes 120% and permit income sharing. He wants to create a steady work atmosphere so that his employees won't have any problems while they take a chance on this expensive business. Thanks for watching. For more updates stay tuned and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel please.